Hello everyone and welcome to today's video where we will be discussing a topic that many typewriter enthusiasts and beginners alike have asked us about. Is there a special paper for typewriters? We'll cover this question as well other common typewriter paper related questions that many people have. So if you're interested in getting the best quality prints while preserving your typewriter, stick around for all the details. Paper thickness is measured in GSM. So to understand what paper to use, we need to know what is a GSM and how it measures paper thickness. GSM stands for grams per square meter. It is the metric used to indicate the thickness of paper, and it is a weight of 1 square meter of paper layers. To give you a sense of paper thickness, here are a few examples of everyday items we all have at home. Tissue paper or toilet rolls, 10 to 35 GSM. Old books, 35 to 70 GSM. Office printer paper, 70 to 100 GSM. Quality letterheads, 100 to 120 GSM. Flyers or posters, 150 to 200 GSM. As for greeting cards, they are 220 plus GSM. So why it is important to select the proper thickness of paper? Well, that's because the paper thickness will have a direct impact on the quality of your prints and the preservation of your typewriter. Since papers can vary from thin to thick, let's start by discussing the negative effects of using a thick paper on your typewriter. Issues with thick papers: printing head decay due to resistance from key arms, misalignment of letters caused by bending key arms, and increase the pressure of the feed rollers, leading to the relaxation of the springs and difficulty in feeding thin papers. On the other hand, using thin paper can cause hole marks on the paper, damage to the platen or the black roller due to the keys punching through the thin paper, and damage to key arms from pressure bouncing back from direct hits, plus occasional sliding or movement of thin papers resulting in random line spacing. These issues can lead to the need for replacing platens or adjusting the key alignment, so it's vital to choose the right paper for your typewriter. So which one is the right one? We'll get to that. Worth mentioning that you may use thin paper while using carbon copies, as it will be used with normal typing paper and a carbon copy in between, which will basically increase the overall thickness of the sheet. Other than thickness, papers come in two types, coated and uncoated. What's the difference between coated and uncoated papers? It's usually a wide topic to discuss, but to summarize it, coated papers are basically uncoated papers with additional coating layer, which is usually clay, chalk, or latex that affects the absorbency of ink. In printing, coating papers deliver sharper and brighter images as the ink sits on top of it rather than sinking into the paper fibers. It's also more resistant to dirt, moisture, tear, and wear, but it makes it more difficult to use with pen and pencil. Coated papers come in different finishes such as matte, silk, gloss, thus making them more expensive. Uncoated papers absorb ink more because the surface is porous, natural, and usually have a rough texture. The texture feel adds character to the paper and it looks more traditional than modern coated paper, and it's more cost efficient. And uncoated paper's absorbency make it a great option for writing with pencil or pen. In terms of paper size, the most common size used is A4 for standard size typewriters. But you may use larger size of papers if you have a wider carriage typewriter of 12-inch carriage or more, as well as using smaller papers of A5 or even cards or tags. Now that we have explained different paper types, which one works best with the typewriter? As typewriter restoration experts for over 8 years, we've had the opportunity to try various paper types and determine the best ones to use with the typewriter. While there are many answers online based on our personal preferences and specific usage, we have a simple and general reply to this commonly asked question. And the answer is An uncoated paper with weight between 85 and 100 GSM is the most suitable for your typewriter. Our recommendation is based on years of working on typewriters and trying out hundreds of typewriter models. And we always highly recommend adding a backing paper for support, as this will enhance the quality of your prints, preserve your platen, and decrease the wear and damage to the key arms. So if you are wondering where to buy a typewriter paper, I can assure you there is no need to buy a special overpriced paper labeled as typewriter papers, as it's just a normal paper that you can easily find in any office supply store or online. Unless you are looking to buy old vintage stock of typewriter papers, then go for it. Before finishing our video, let's compare different samples of typing on different types of paper. For reference, I'm using a Silent Super Smith Corona typewriter with a normal platen that wasn't recovered. Now let's test typing on different types of paper with different thickness. I'll start with toilet roll. It's around 35 GSM. And I'll type a short word. I'll type Smith Corona. I didn't use any backing sheet. This is the result. Now I will be typing on a thin paper, around 60 GSM, and we recommend using a backing paper, but on this occasion I will not be using a backing paper. Because we want to show the different results. Now I will be typing on a small label. It's around 160 GSM. Now I will be typing on a coated paper with a glossy finish. It's around 130 GSM, considerably thick. And that's the typing result. Finally, I will be typing on an uncoated A4 paper, around 80 GSM. And this is the typing result. That's all for today's video on typewriter paper related questions. We hope this information has been helpful and you can now make informed decisions on which paper to use on your typewriter. Remember, choosing the right paper thickness, understanding GSM, and considering finishes are all crucial in preserving your typewriter and getting those quality prints. So go ahead, explore different options and unleash your creativity. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please like the video and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button to get notified of any new videos. Until then, keep typing.